Let's get this out of the way. Garzey's Wing is infamous almost entirely for the English dub. Realistically, I could just post a bunch of clips of the most hilarious lines from the dub and call it a night, but that's lazy, and also not the full story. You see, the dub required more than just a lack of effort on part of the voice actors to become the glorious tragedy that we know and love. It also required some horrendously bad writing. Garzey's Wing was a creation from the mind of Yoshiyuki Tomino, most famous for the creation of that anime franchise behemoth Mobile Suit Gundam. But his other franchise he desperately tried to push was the Byston Well saga, which included series like Aura Battler Dumbine, Wings of Reen, and the aforementioned Garzey's Wing. But this never really came to pass because none of these are particularly good. Tomino is generally a hard man to pin down, as his works range from the near universally acclaimed Zeta Gundam to the universally reviled brain-powered. But talking about Tomino is boring, and I'm also a failure as an anime fan and barely seen any of his works, so let's leave that aside and just focus solely on Garzey's Wing. The story is about Chris, who has been accused by some as being
"You are so easygoing."
Okay, no more dub referencing. Within 30 seconds of the anime starting, he is suddenly whisked away by a giant duck to the magical land of Byston Well, where he quickly has to fight off a bunch of soldiers naked while wings suddenly grow from his ankles. We are given no explanation as to why this happens. Wait, actually we are. It's because of Yamato Takeru no Mikoto, a name characters repeat multiple times without irony over the course of the 3-episode OVA with no hint as to who she is, what she does, or why she's important. This is largely the approach Garzey's Wing takes to every plot point. They're so random to the point of being completely non sequitur. This is the approach taken with the dialogue too. Chris explains to a hovering fairy creature that he can't stay in Byston Well because there are no vending machines here. You could probably parse this reasoning together as Chris being unfamiliar with the lack of modern technology, but it's such a roundabout method of explaining this. Now, it's true that you shouldn't outright state a character's feelings, instead showing it through his actions and dialogue, but as I said, his explanations are so non sequitur that it leaves you more often than not in baffled confusion. This is when the show isn't simply throwing garbled fantasy babble at us. A character will blankly state that the Ashigaba tribe needs to find the Baraju tree at Gabajuju, with no explanation as to what any of these things are. Lingo, names, tribes and creatures are thrown at us with no helpful dialogue to explain what these things are. The characters seem to be on a wavelength you don't have a receiver to, and they will happily spout incoherent nonsense back at each other. With all that out of the way, now let's talk about that infamous English dub. It was a complete rush job, apparently bringing in a bunch of students to perform with the promise of free beer and pizza. The voices frequently run over their lip flaps, or even get cut off before finishing their lines. Every single one of the characters yell their lines with the same monotone drawl with no emotion or effort put in. Let us be clear now that Garzey's Wing would be Terribad in either language, but combine the lack of effort in the English dub with the bizarre non sequitur delivery of plot points and character motivations lead to this perfect conglomeration of hideous that creates something beautiful. The hilarious delivery of such incomprehensible nonsense is an art in of itself. You know what? I've talked long enough. I'll let the masters of the art finish this video off.
Shiratori? This must be the place where Yamato Takeru no Mikoto came down from the sky.
Oh my gosh, that skill! Is he the holy warrior? But why is he accompanied by a Philario?
Did you find them?
If you had a convenience store, then I would live with you.
How come you returned from your war with the savage western tribe,
Can we reach the river?
Of course we can!
Your hands up! It's not what I wanted. It's Yamato Takeru no Mikoto.
What?
The bells around Lord Chris's neck are rattling because it is his time to become a holy warrior.
My sword is unbelievably dull. I must somehow make sense of our convoluted situations.
It is most effective to place a Duraga roll at Gabujuju.
I'm going to the class reunion at the community pool. I think it will be good for my present mental condition.
Don't get killed!
You too!
Oh yeah?
It's really sticky when you put it on your hands.
I see that. It's what we call a drug in my world.
If you taste it or smoke it, you get happy and do crazy things.